Okay, these are the samples of the tags that we're going to make, and I will just run quickly through a couple of them to show you how to put them together. Okay. So the first one is the snowman. For the snowman, you'll need the tag. You will need paper. I chose to use a solid paper and a printed paper, and we're going to put the printed paper right above the solid paper. And I already pre-cut everything, so you just need to have the kids choose which paper they want to use. And then I cut out this burlap. They're in large squares, and you can just cut them into smaller ones to fit whatever size you want. You can make it the size that I made it. You can make it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. You can let the children choose if you'd like. And then on top of that, we'll go with the snowman. And after all this is glued together, you'll put this on top of the tag. I will have little bows, or you could tie bows in class, but I think I'll try to do it beforehand. And then you'll just glue the bow up here. And for the snowman, I bought googly eyes. So you can have them glue on the googly eyes right onto the eyeballs, so that it looks like this, and it jiggles. For the paper, all the paper material, you can use just regular glue. Just ask them not to use too much because it will warp the tag. For the burlap, we will be using glue dots. You just need to put one glue dot in the middle, right here in the middle. Just stick this right onto the glue dot roll. I don't know if you can see that. There's a glue dot right there. Stick it on there, press really tight, and then if you lift it up slowly, it might not come up too well, but if you lift it up slowly, it'll be stuck on there, right there, if you can see it. And then press that down into place. Okay, and that will hold it. It's strong enough to hold it there. Okay, and then glue this here, glue this here. You can either use the glue dots on the snowman, or you can use regular glue on the top and bottom and glue him down as well. And you can use regular glue for the eyeballs. So that's the snowman. The next one is the snowflake. Okay. The snowflake is pretty much the same thing. You have your tag, and I cut out a bunch of cardstock. And for this one, you can also do the same thing with the snowman. You can use either a solid one behind it and glue it down this way. Or if you want to make things a little bit different, you can actually take a different colored one and glue it this way. What I was thinking was actually cutting this and putting it on top and on bottom. Yeah. So you can just take a pair of scissors, cut it somewhere in the middle, glue this down like that, and then glue this on top like that. If it's easier, you can have them glue for like the snowflake. I want just one row up here, so you can have them glue the one row up top first, and then put glue here, and maybe do like two rows of snowflakes on the bottom, and then glue that down to the tag like that. And then it's the burlap again, but a little bit smaller. So instead of making it go all the way across, I'm going to make it a little bit larger, or I'm sorry, a little bit smaller than the snowflake, but about the same size as a snowflake. And you could either put in the center, you could put it kind of off to the side. I usually do off to the side. So again, you're going to use the glue dot. You're going to do the glue dot for the burlap, just one in the center, and you're going to put that down. And then because it's the burlap again, you want to put one glue dot on the star and glue that down. Likewise with the button, use a lot of glue dots. On the button, you also want to use a glue dot, and then stick that down. And then this little bow, stick a glue dot on it, and glue that in the center, or stick it in the center, and so that's what you will end up getting. If you would like to, you can also put little holly leaf behind the snowflake, just to give it a little something extra. And that's your star tag, which will come out looking something like this one. Okay. And then the last one is the Christmas tree. And this one is a little bit trickier. Okay. Alright, so this one, it has a lot more moving parts. You start off with your tag. And again, you start off with your colored paper. Next is your colored paper. Now with the colored paper, the one that I used here, I cut it a little bit smaller, but you can leave it this size if you'd like. The kids, if they want to, they can cut it smaller. You can do the same thing as the snowman and use the red solid background, or you can cut another one and do the border like we did with the snowflake one. So that's an option. I also bought some ribbon, and if they would like to, they can just glue down the ribbon. So for the ribbon, you're going to put just a line of glue, and they will put this on here into the glue. Press it down lightly, just tap it down lightly, wipe off any extra glue, and they can't touch it, they have to let it dry. It'll take a while for it to dry. They can work on other things, but just let them know they need to let the ribbon dry before they pick it up and move it around and stuff too much. Okay, so after that is done, there's a Merry Christmas. Now these are pretty small, so they're a little bit hard to glue. And what you will want to do with them, this one I think it should be the older children doing. What we'd like to do is take the glue. Let me see if I can let go of this. You want to take your glue and have the children just put like a little, have the glue come out of the tip just a little bit and just tap the back where it's a little bit thicker. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, so like somewhere around here, some of the thicker lines in between letters and areas like that. Just put little bits of glue, and then that will help it, that will keep it there. It will stick. You could put that down. I did a little line of Christmas trees, so if they would like to do that, I chose red ones for this one. Just put a dot of glue on the back of the Christmas tree and just glue those down. Oh, one fell off. Okay, maybe that's not a strong glue. Maybe glue dots would be better because this one fell off. Maybe glue dots would be better for the Christmas trees. Oh, everything else is on pretty strong. Maybe it just didn't glue very well. Okay, and the Christmas tree. The way I did the Christmas tree, I cut out all these little Christmas tree shapes. So the first one obviously gets glued down here. The second one I folded. So you're going to have them kind of like bend it and fold it in half. But you want to only fold the top part. So you're going to fold the tip and then try to match up the leaves somewhat and fold it down to about here. The third leaf. And then it's going to do like this triangle arrow type of thing with the bottom of the tree trunk. You don't want to fold this one. So you're just going to leave it that way, and you can kind of help it fold that way if you want to. And then just open it slightly. You're going to run glue down the center of the tree and on the tree trunk, and you will glue that down to the tree on the paper. Okay, and if when you glue it down, it will stay up, especially because of the tree trunk. It'll help it stay up like this, and you get this little three-dimensional effect. And after they've glued it down, you can give them glitter glue. I bought some glitter glue. And I think we also have other, we can use maybe sequins. I think we have sequins at church. So you can use some glitter glue. You can have them decorate it. They can flatten the top part out when they put the glitter glue on it. Just have them fold it back up a little bit later. I just did a few little circles, but if they want to, they can actually outline the tree or do like a garland across the tree. Okay. And then there is a little star, little yellow star that they can put at the top. And again, you know, just stick one of the bows at the top to finish it off. Okay, so most of it will use either just the white glue or the glue dots. The toughest part really is when you use the wet glue, not to use too much. Make sure you tell them not to use too much, because what happens is if they, let me see if I can find one. I don't know if you can see it. This one I used wet glue for the ribbon and the paper, and I used a small amount on the edge of the paper. So when they're gluing, before they glue, let them know they don't need to put a whole bunch, and they don't need to put very much in the middle. Most of the glue should go pretty close to the edge. It should be a thin line. For the younger children, it might get kind of messy, but you can have them just draw a line, and they can't do it thin. So just draw a line, and then have them take their finger and just smudge it so that it becomes a layer instead of a glob. And then, of course, they're going to have to wipe their finger off or something. And then they can glue it down. Because what happens, if you put too much glue, this is paper, so it will kind of warp a little. And this one you can see where the glue for the ribbon was used. And you can see a little bit on the side. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a little bit of warping of the paper on the side where there was a little bit too much glue or a little bit too much moisture. So you can have them use their finger and just rub it out so that doesn't happen too much. And I think that is about it. I have everything pre-cut, and I have everything pre-cut and in bags. The only thing is I would need you guys to maybe just pick out what you guys want to do. I'm thinking the snowman might be for the really younger kids, maybe the first and second grade kids, and then the older kids can kind of either take a mix or pick one per grade or something like that. Okay, if you have any questions, you know, I'm gonna walk around and I'll be able to help you guys if you need it. But I think that's about it.